Welcome back to Larry Monarch Live. We're here today talking with the Lady of the Lake about her life, her loves, and most importantly, her lawsuit against M. Night Shyamalan. Welcome, Miss Lake.
Please call me Vivian.
Okay, Vivian. I guess we should start with the news that's got court gossips buzzing across Christendom. You're suing M. Night Shyamalan over defamation of character for his depiction of you in the recent film Lady in the Water. Why don't you tell us how all this started?
Well, about 3 years ago, I was approached about a project that M. Night was working on. After a couple of initial negotiations, M. Night and I did lunch, and we went to a screening of The Village. Since we were the only two people there, we had plenty of time to talk about the picture. Then he described it as a respectful biopiece about my life. And after reading it, I signed off on it.
So you had a chance to see the screenplay then?
Yes, the first draft, but what got produced was something very different.
I see. So it was like the difference between M. Night and M. Day? Go on.
Well, my first warnings that something was going wrong is when I saw the casting on the news. Now, they chose Bryce Dallas Howard for my role, and I would have preferred Kate Blanchett, but she can't swim. But Paul Giamatti as Merlin just didn't seem right to me. I mean, Merlin's like none of the other characters that Paul Giamatti's played.
So, you and Merlin are once lovers, right?
Yes.
Now, we have some people on record as to saying that when you two broke up, you trapped him in a cave. Is there any truth in that?
You trap one ex-boyfriend in a cave and you're the bad girl in town. I mean, this interview is supposed to be about me, not Merlin, and that was ancient history. Now I'm in a fulfilling relationship with Kevin Costner. I mean, most of Waterworld was filmed at my home.
I see, but back to this other issue. Now, you don't think Paul Giamatti was right for the role, but his character wasn't named Merlin.
No, they renamed Merlin Cleveland Heap. Cleveland Heap? That sounds like a bad garage band. And even worse, they renamed the Arthur Vic Rand, and Shyamalan played him himself. Now, at least Paul Giamatti was bald like Merlin, but Shyamalan is nothing like Arthur.
How so?
Well, for starters, Arthur had a lisp, and Shyamalan doesn't.
A lisp?
Yes, it was awful. We tried to get him to rename his sword Caliburn because him saying Excalibur was just so embarrassing. And of course, all the knights were Sir Broth and Sir Gawain and Sir Lancelot.
Now, but you're not suing Shyamalan over the defamation of the characters of Merlin, Arthur, or Lancelot. The suit alleges they defamed your character.
Oh, absolutely.
How so?
Well, I'm just made to look ridiculous. He changes my title to Lady in the Water and my lake to a public swimming pool. I mean, a public swimming pool? Do I look like the kind of woman that lays around in over-chlorinated public swimming pools?
I should say not.
And then they turn my cave into a filthy hole. I mean, there's no vaulted ceilings, no canopy beds, no chandeliers, nothing. What kind of king gets his weapons from an unsanitary pool with serious architectural flaws? None. The only people that would be there are children with weak bladders.
That does sound unpleasant.
Unpleasant and defamatory. And then my most feared enemies are dogs made of grass. Grass dogs? Well, a peckish goat could take out a grass dog in mere minutes. You think Paul Giamatti could just get a riding lawnmower and have them bagged by the curb in no time?
I can see that.
Well, and furthermore, they make it out that I'm the one in trouble. I mean, I could call any number of shades from the great Celtic kings to defend me, and Shyamalan makes me out to be a coward that has to be protected by a group of stoners and ne'er-do-wells. They were renters, not a single landed baron or yeoman around.
But in the end of the movie, he depicts you as being victorious.
If you call that victorious, I give some loser who lives with his sister a couple of chapters for his cookbook and then carried off by giant birds. I have experience with giant birds. Do you know what giant birds mean? Giant droppings.
Well, we're going to have to take a break now for a garlic commercial. When we come back, more with the Lady of the Lake and her lawsuit against M. Night Shyamalan, as well as her out-of-court settlement with the Land O'Lakes Margarine Company.